Hey everyone, this is Ricky, starting a new project on YouTube. This will be part one of the CuteBee DIY book nook kit Serene Courtyard. We're live streaming on YouTube at Real Talk Chimp. That's RealTalkChimp. This will be an unboxing as well as a tutorial, as well as trying to finish the kit in one day if we can. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And let me know if you can hear me, etc., etc. So let's make sure that we are live streaming and that we have audio. Okay. Good. Sound good. Okay. Grab some water. Konnichiwa. So with all kits that I build or that I purchase and build, there are tools that are required to build these kits. First off, your hands are tools. You're going to be required to have 2 AAA batteries. Any brand will do. These happen to be from Dollar Tree. They seem to have been working pretty good for the last few models I built. I have one of these in the description here. It's just something I got off of Amazon, box tools. I've been adding stuff to it, of course. Most kits will come with this little, they call it a frost rod. It's just a sanding type thing to sand parts. The blue is a heavier grit, the pink is a lighter grip. You'll need a scissors or a blade to be able to cut parts out or to cut windows, etc. out. I prefer this, it's just easier to manage. You'll need tweezers to be able to deal with smaller parts. I've gotten tweezers like this, plastic ones and metal ones as well. So you'll also be required to use glue. Some of these kits come with this B7000 glue from China. It's extremely toxic, so make sure you're in a well-ventilated room before you're using something like this. Plus it's a super glue, so it'll stick to your hands. I also just use Elmer's washable clear glue I got from Dollar Tree. Let's see here. Johnny Mims. Hi there. How you doing? Also, Grayson OR. How you doing? Hope you can hear me okay. Sorry, as I got a little close to the sniffing glue part here. So yeah, you're going to need some basic tools for most of these kits. I've collected many. I've built over 12 kits now. We're going to do an unboxing of this. Again, if you have any questions or comments, how is that? Let me see. No, oh, it's Arabic writing. I thought it was like little emo type things. I unfortunately cannot translate that Arabic writing, so if you can Google Translate for me. Oh, okay. Well, this is what I'm doing. I'm building, or will be building after I do the unboxing, this book nook kit. This CuteBee DIY book nook kit is called Serene Garden. It's based off a Japanese Zen garden. Everything is in the description, by the way. I know most people don't go to and look in the descriptions, I guess. But you're building basically this thing to sit between books. Like it'll be on a bookshelf. You'll have the books going in other directions. It'll be a box, say, around this size. Most of the kits I've built have been actual little houses, 3D miniature houses. This is an actual city inside of a box. So wooden parts, LED lights, home decor, creative gift. Okay. Model number is B as in Bravo, J as in John, A as in Adam, A as in Adam, the number 404. Assembled size will be 12 by 19.25 by 22 centimeters. Recommended age is 14 plus. Manual has languages in English, French, German, Italian, Spanish, and Polish. And it says that I guess most of the stuff in this kit are recyclable. There's a warning in multiple languages here, contains small parts, choking hazard, and it's made in China. I have not found a kit made in the United States yet, but what can you do? Box is very, very nice, very pretty. Okay, so let's figure out how to get into this box. Okay, so this must be a cover, a sleeve. This is, okay. This is a sleeve. All right. We got The Art of Assembling the World in Multiple Languages. Okay. I guess that's written all over this thing. Another warning on the back here. Also, it says, notice this product requires 2 AAA batteries not included. Glue and tools are also not included. This is an unfinished product that requires assembly according to the manual. This is a DIY project here. All right, so we just unboxed this kit here. We've got like an MRE accessory pack here. Let's see what we got inside here. How do we get in here? Most of these kits are chimpanzee proof. So if you're a chimpanzee like me, you may be requiring an adult. Okay. Let's see here. Whirlpool. Oh, that right there? Yeah, that is a KitchenAid. I'm renting this place, so those things came with. I think most of this stuff is kitchen made, except for maybe the washer and dryer. I think the dishwasher may also be KitchenAid. The stove over there, or the stove over there, and then the oven, I think those are all KitchenAid stainless type things from the early 2000s. All right, so let's see what we got here. All right, so right out of the accessory pack, we have this battery box with all the LED lights that we'll have to connect and add batteries to. We have, hey Michael, how you doing, pal? Thank you for joining. All right, what else we have? We have one of these dingleberries. What are these called? We'll figure it out. I'll tell you when. The ABS plastic, right? Is that what that is, I think? Maybe for a window or something? Okay, let's see what else we got. I like it because, it's cute. It's like a little backpack, the way that they shaped this thing out. This is the second kit that I've seen having this type of accessory pack. Uh-oh, things are falling. A cute little vase just fell out. This seems awfully large, so obviously for a flower pot that you see right here. Somewhere around there, I guess. Okay, what is this right here? A koi pond. Koi pond that's probably going to get a light up through there, shining off the koi pond. Now, if we can figure out how to animate this, that would be pretty slick. There is the frost pod, the new one, so I can get rid of my old one and use the new one here. Again, the frost little things that, I don't know why they call them frost pads, but it's a thing to file down pieces that you need to connect together. Blue is a heavier grit, while the pink is a lighter grit. Okay, we got some of those little these are stickers, but they're clear tape that you use to put things down that don't want to adhere with the glue. Most of the time, you're going to have to use the glue when they want you to use the tape, because the tape is pretty flimsy. All right, so, this thing's got some weight to it, this little pot. I'm sure it's a 3D printed thing. It almost looks like it's hand painted. Pretty nice. But it's actually got some weight to it. Now, normally, in real life, this would be porcelain or some type of clay, right? In real life. But it feels like, I guess it's like plastic, yeah. A little vase to put flowers in and stuff. But it's actually got some weight to it. It's kind of interesting. And then this koi pond, it's actually pretty nice. It's actually pretty nice. The last couple of koi ponds I built with these kits have been just paper. This is an actual piece of plastic here. So it's got some type of resin or paper on this backside here with the slots that are going to use to connect it to whatever. And then it's got, yeah, clear. It's a clear. You can see right in here that it's clear. So light will probably sit somewhere around there. Okay. We'll put our plastic back in there. All right. We'll put the accessories on the side here. Everything. I kind of fan everything out around me when I'm getting ready to build. All right. Oh boy. Okay. So here are the plates. Oh, everything's falling out. Here are the plates that have all the parts that we're going to be using to build this kit. So it will be labeled and numbered with clear writing so you'll be able to see it. Quite a few of them, so let's place them over here. There's something popped out here. We got some stickers. So, you know, they took real photographs of real images and then shrunk them down on their printers, I guess. So, very pretty. Beautiful. Beautiful pagoda back there. Okay, so the stickers. I know I'm going to actually put the stickers with the accessory pack here. It wasn't with it, but I'm going to put it there. We have a manual. Oh, I'm trying to figure out where all this water come from and condensation from my glass. So DIY wooden box book nook BJAA 404 Serene Courtyard. Again, this is the first box type of book nook I've ever built. This will be the first one. The previous ones were all the actual like little houses and such. So we'll get into that in a moment. We got another, looks like a dust cover. Remember, there's film on both sides of this ABS plastic that you'll need to peel off, and it'll most likely be the dust cover that'll sit right in here. So this is the actual size of this thing on the boxer, and it'll be a dust cover, so it'll protect your goodies. Then we got a few other, oh, well, we got a little inspected thing here. Oh, let's see if I can get this to focus. Qualified certificate, QC pass. Okay, by somebody. All right, so then we got like windows, I guess, windows. At one time I thought this was rice paper, but this is actually some type of plastic. I can't remember what it's called though. It's in the manual, but probably some of the circular windows will have these. And then you have other windows and such. And then you'll need to use scissors or your X-Acto blade to be able to cut these out on the line. So scissors if you're uncomfortable with the blade. All right, so we'll put that back inside there. We'll put our accessory pack back inside there. We'll put our dust cover. And then we'll take our box and just put it aside. Okay. All right, let's see here. Again, if you're new to the channel, consider hitting that like button if you like the content. If you're watching this back as an archive video on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button and share at Real Talk Chimp with your friends and family, because we're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers before the end of this month. All right. So we've done the unboxing of the CuteBee DIY book nook kit, Serene Courtyard. We've showed you all the parts that are there. Tutorial basically is, this is a 3D wooden puzzle, 3D printed objects, as well as cardboard, pressed cardboard, MDF board. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's basically a real thin slice of wood, like extremely thin, like only a couple of millimeters thick of wood. And in between it, there's like a cardboard particle board that sits in between these boards here to make these kits. So that's how they can call them wooden puzzles. If you look closely, you can see that the top of it here, where it's silk screened, is actually a real fine couple of millimeters of wood, actual wood, and then the stuff in between is like a pressed cardboard type, I guess the MDF board or whatever. Purse wood? Oh yeah, if you want to build it together, come on down. Or, yeah, I mean, I'm basically going to be building this piece by piece, but I'm not going to, speed it up and stuff. This is not going to be an uploaded content video. This is going to be a live streamed video. It's happening right now. Right now. I also sometimes use my magnifying glass. I bought this one because of the LED lights, so you can do close up. I use it mostly for coin collecting, but I use it for my paint by numbers kits, but sometimes I can't read something because my eyes are old and broken, so I'll use this. This particular one came with the 10 times and the 5 times, which is super cool. You'll see me using this. And because of the last model I built, which was the Western Saloon, they didn't say that you needed needle nose pliers and that there would be metal parts. So I went on to Amazon. You could go to Harbor Freight or wherever you want. I went on to Amazon and I bought this kit. I'll link it in the description as well. It wasn't very expensive, I think like $30. But it's a jeweler's kit, but it comes with all kinds of different needle nose and wire cutters and all kinds of stuff. It comes with a little filing kit as well, but because it's considered a jeweler's kit, they gave you, well, 2 of these jeweler rings here so that you could start off by making some. They're super tiny, like kid size, so I just left them on there. But there's cutters, wire strippers, different types of needle nose, etc. Like I said, it was about 30 bucks. Comes in a cool little case. And in case we come across another thing where we're going to be required to use needle nose or whatever, then we've got it here for us. All right, let's take these plates out. Let's try to find a place we can cut. There we go. Without destroying the silk screening. CuteBee, like some of the other manufacturers out there that make these kits, if you have broken pieces or you break pieces because you have big chimpanzee hands like me, you can give them the part number, like send them an email and give them the part number and they'll send you a new board with the parts on it. I've had boards like this in kits that had no silk screening on it at all. For whatever reason in the manufacturing department, it just looked like this on both sides. So I've sent them back for one that was silk screened. I've had missing parts before. You can let them know if there's missing parts, etc. Things like this are going to fall out. They just happen. You have to remember, this kit came from Japan all over to the U.S. Took a couple of weeks to get here. So, all right, here are all the plates. We'll set them aside for now. And the first thing we'll do is we'll get our manual. Okay, we'll get our Serene Courtyard manual here. We'll go through the manual as best as we can. I'm going to focus the camera on this. You can pause it if you need to read this. Or you can pause the live stream, I guess, to read all this stuff here. Achtung! Yeah, so safety warning. Okay. Let's go on to the next page here. If your children are building this kit, I would suggest you be there to help them out because it does say ages 14 on up. If you have an 8-year-old building this or 3-year-old or whatever, be careful because these parts are teeny tiny. And yeah. Wartung und Pflege. Yeah, more security stuff here. I'll put the camera on here so you can be able to read this. Yeah, most people don't. I've built kits where I've not read the instructions as well and screwed myself and had to go back and read the instructions. But most people won't. Yeah, I get it. Especially children. They're not going to read the instructions. They're going to wing it. There's quite a lot of pages because there's multiple languages that these things are in here. So it's all the same information, just in a different language. So here we get down to what's actually in the box. You have your LED lights. Oh, I guess I can't put the finger there. It'll focus on the finger. Your LED lights, your touch line, your battery box, your frosted rod, which again is the little filing doohickey. You have a sticker set, PVC, that's the word I was trying to think of. The windows and things like that, or not the windows, but the plastic, the thicker couple of millimeter plastic, like dust covers and whatever. Those are PVC. The dust-proof sheet is also a PVC. Acrylic, that's what that little pond was that I showed you was acrylic. And, it's wax paper. Those windows, I used to think they were rice paper. They're supposed to be rice paper. They're actually wax paper. So you get that near an open flame, say goodbye. The stickers, a sticker set's made out of paper. And then the little painted, they're calling it a vat, but the vase, little painted vase. Cuba pintada. Okay. This is showing you all the plates that have all the parts on them. Here, wood block list. Holz block liste. Liste de placas. Elenco de piastre. Lista de placas. Lista plate. There you go. These are all the plates showing you all the different plates that I showed you over there. Some more things before assembly. Please make sure to test the light that it is working. We're going to be doing that first. So we're going to take this little critter. And let's see if we can get into it, or do I need to call an adult? There we go. All right, so most people would freak out if they saw this and go, what in the hell is all of this? Used to be able to get this stuff at Radio Shack. Radio Shack is gone, unless it's somewhere, I don't know. These are your LED bulbs with also the relay blocks that fit into the battery box. One will be the pressure switch. The rest will be the light bulbs. This is the circuit board that controls and combines each of them together. But yes, normally this is connected already, but it's on its own. So the biggest complaint about most of these kits are the lights don't work. Well, probably because you didn't hook any of this stuff up. So we're going to start out by opening this battery box. Usually this is where I tear my fingers apart trying to get to it. Son of a mother father. Warning, Real Talk Chimp does have a potty mouth. This is not made for kids, but if I start swearing, you'll know why. All right, so we got that apart. Let's take this apart here. I always keep the twisties that come off of these things because you're probably going to use them again. Sometimes these cables are too long and you need to corral them back up. Okay, so I'm going to try my best to untangle all of this, if I can. There we go, we isolated one wire. So while they do their own plastic, to combine their wires here, they use their own. I went out and got these little twisties that you get at the supermarket, and sometimes I'll use them to corral the wires for me. Okay, so these are all connected. All these wires are connected, but if we can just try to find what goes where. Too complicated. All right. So here's that little, I don't know what the word is for that because I'm not an electrician, but this is the one that all the bulbs are connected to. So this will go into the smaller one here. So let's see. There we go. And then the light switch, it has two on them, but one of them has to fit inside of here. So we'll do that first and see which one fits. We got a black, a blue, and a red wire. So let's see, does this go in here? How about turning it around? Nope. Let's try this side. There we go. Okay. I think that's connected. If not, I'll reverse it. And then we'll put this side in the battery box. Okay, that one fit in there. All right, perfect. Grab some of the batteries. And of course, there's a display in here that shows you what direction the batteries go in. 1.5 volt AAA battery. Obviously, more expensive batteries will last longer than the little Dollar Tree batteries. Okay. Remember, this is the first day with new hands. There we go. All right, so now, in theory, we should get power, but we're not getting any power, so let's figure out if we did something wrong here. No, that was the correct way. In theory, we should get power. We're not getting any power. So now we got to see if we try some other batteries, right? So maybe these batteries are just kaput. Now I bought like, I think there's like 10 for $5 at the Dollar Tree. So, all right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the phone down for a moment. I should have grabbed all the batteries, but I didn't. I'm going to leave this here. Mike, you're going to chat and get everyone to subscribe, and I'll be right back to grab some different batteries. I don't get paid. My channel's not monetized. I don't have enough viewership to warrant monetization. You need 4,000 watch hours to get monetized, and we're only at 1,697. But for 6 years, we haven't been able to get monetized. All right, I had to pull some batteries out of another kit, so we'll try these. Apparently, oh, there we go. Okay. So let's see here. This looks like all the lights work. Let's try the touchpad if I can. There is a touchpad. Touchpad no worky. How does the touchpad not work? No, it's connected the only way. Oh, okay. Okay, so it's just super finicky for some reason. It works. Yeah, okay. So it does work. So let's turn it off. Off. Okay. We'll just pop the batteries out. So at least we know this light box works. The people that complain that they don't work, you either have to just change out their batteries, like I had to just do, or just tap the wires. Maybe there's a loose connection on the wires or something, I don't know. Put all this back inside here because we won't need this for a while. Big old octopus here. Ah! Just put it aside. Son of a monkey. I don't even get a discount. Like I put inside here the toolkit that I have. I put inside the kit that I have. But I don't even, like if somebody clicks on the ads on there, I don't get paid for any of that. But if you do want to tip anybody in here, you can, give Michael Contreras Knight 070, the moderator here. You can hook him up. He needs PlayStation Plus for a month or a year or whatever. And I don't accept gifts or tips or anything like that. You can just pass them right on over to Michael. All right, so we have another instructions here, all in foreign languages again as well. But then it's also showing you a breakdown of these wires and the dimensions of these wires. 15 centimeters, 35 centimeters, etc. You see that there, the touchpad, as well as the cable that goes between the touchpad and the battery pack, and how it's all connected up, like so. So that's pretty cool. Oh, okay. AMA, is it MA-0703F? Yeah, Michael and I, well, we don't know each other in person. We pretty much grew up fairly close, and he lives, we both live in the United States. So, yeah. And we've also been gaming together for quite some time. So, here's the rest of the battery box. Let's put that in there. Okay, so we can actually start building now. So let's open up. Page 2, page 1 was the explaining the battery box and such. So we can get cracking here. This thing tells you, so all kits come with a tool. It looks like that, or it has other shapes to it that help you to punch out the pieces on the plates, unless you're going to use your fingers and stuff. And it's telling you that it's on plate F41, that thing right there. Okay, assisted picking plus AS, assisted pressing. So pick apart and press it down. Okay. So here, let's go look for F plate first. So we have, this guy keeps wanting to fall out. We'll put him over here. So we have J, H, G. There's no I? Weird. Here's F. Okay. So these little cardboard things here These are the little tools that you use to push out the pieces. Sometimes they don't cooperate. Sometimes they break instantly. All right, so there's F. Let's try to put this in some type of order here. Okay, let's look for, we have an E, EF, EFG. That's beautiful. Beautiful artwork. EFG, this is a D, C. Fingers are stuck. So D, E, C. What is this? This is a B. This must be an A. This is an A. Okay, so right out of the gate, it wants us on F. So let's go over to F. So I'm going to take A, B, C, and D, and then move them over here so I can get to them quickly. Let's go E. I'm going to put E over here, F, and the rest of these gizmos over here. So they're all kind of fanned out around me here. Okay, so we're looking for F. What do we need here? We need F56, 54, 53, and a 46. So 56. Let's look for 56. Here's 56. Put that down. Let's look for 46. 46. Here's 46. Put 46 there. We're looking for a 54. Here's the 54. Sometimes they'll get stuck on the back and you'll have to monkey with it to get it out. And a 53, which is, oh, I thought I saw it. 53. Here we go. F53. Okay, put that aside, put those aside. So now there are two sounds that generally you'll hear. Well, there's three sounds. The third one is a bad sound. The first two are a good sound. You want to hear a squishy sound when you're connecting these pieces. So it'll make a squish type of sound. Or you'll hear a click. That'll be a good positive sound. A crunch or a snap is you've broken the part. All right, so we're going to take this 46 here. First, we're going to orientate this board to match this instructions here. So we're going to take this board that looks about accurate. We're going to take this little critter here. Put him here. Okay, he goes straight through. So because he's so loose inside here, you may want to add some glue. But once it's connected to the floor, it should be okay. But since I'm a stickler for making things work, I'm going to grab a little bit of glue. It doesn't say to glue. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue so it stays in place, because God forbid I'd move it. It's going to fall out into the carpet, right? I don't have carpet, but you may have carpet in your floor. So just a little glue. Okay, and then we're going to put the F54 into its spot. Well, obviously that's the wrong side. This is the side that's going to face you. So we're going to connect that one into its spot here. We're going to try. That's the squish sound you heard. Okay. And then we're going to take 53, F53, which is the little stone here. Make sure it's angled the correct direction. It looks like a car with the nose going that way. It looks like a car with the nose going that way. That goes into this first slot. This one as well. Feels a little bit loose. Let's see. No, that one's okay. So it's just the one in the back. There. So basically what we did, you see, is we connected F46, F54, and F53 down to F56, and we made this right here. This right here. Okay, we'll put that one aside. And we'll work on the next one here. So we need an F59. Here is an F59, this L-shaped piece here. And right out of the gate, it tells us to orientate it this direction, according to the instructions. And it wants us to connect those two pegs down into these two slots here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try. Let's make sure that's pressed down. Let's see if we can get them into their spot. How's that nice squishy sound? Okay. Make sure you're in your spot. All right. So all we did was I just pressed that down there. Now we're going to add some more parts to it. All right, so there's an Achtung right there, that red exclamation mark that means that step 2 up there is also connected to it, which makes sense. That's the thing that's down here. Okay. Oh. Well, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if it's still kind of floppy in here. Well, with the glue, it's solid in here. I guess it's up to you. If you still connect it in there and it would have made a squish down here, then you're right. Probably didn't need it. Although I think the squish came from the rock part right here that made the squish sound. So it's always good every once in a while to, parts that feel like they're loose, to definitely add a little glue to them. Okay. So we're looking for F55, F58, F45, and F42. And an E3. So an F55 is right here. Very strange looking Dobby. So it looked like Dobby from the Lord of the Rings. Little sash around his neck, his face, his nose going upward. I'm Dobby. I think it's stacked rocks. Okay. All right. Orientation. So this guy also has one of those kind of weird pegs where half of it goes in and the rest goes straight through. It's going to go down into the first slot here. Again, this guy feels real loose. So we'll take a shot and not glue that one down and see if he squishes when he gets connected to wherever he has to go next. Okay, an F42, which is right here. So we'll try it. Ooh, I'm going to take this whole part out, it looks like. All right, get the tool here because it's stuck in the board. There's another thing to be aware of. A lot of times these kits don't fit together because for whatever reason, however they're stored or however they're shipped, if it's shipped on an airplane or if it's shipped by a cargo ship, depending on how long time it takes to get from China to the US through customs and stuff, that, water could be next to these things or temperature change will warp these boards. So just be aware that sometimes the reason why these things don't fit together is because of warpage. So here's the shape of this little rock garden thing. It's got like a mountain shape here. You want this point to be facing to the right while you hold down the board like so. And you want this piece, let's get it to focus. You want that piece to connect into this slot right here. So there's that nice squishy sound there. Okay, it's fitting in there flush. Good. Okay, so an F45. F45 right up here. F45 is going to go, well, that came off quickly. So I'd probably put a little glue in there. F45 is going to go into that little slot there. So we want this, the silk screen part, to be facing towards this direction here, or you're going to be looking at cardboard, just at back cardboard. So let's try to put this critter right here. Have you done a ship in a bottle? You know, no. I remember as a child, my father put one of those kits together where it basically built the ship outside of it, and the ship collapsed down like origami. And then you slip it into the opening of the bottle. You like round it up in a tube shape because it's all folded up. There's a string on the end of it, and you basically slide it through the bottle, and then once it's inside the bottle there, you pull the string and it just goes bloop, and it fills up into the ship. Now there's obviously acrylic bottles where they have it, they cut it out all the way around, and then you can take it apart, build everything inside and glue that. But gosh knows what they've got now. They've got 3D models of some really cool ships. I keep saying that I'm not gonna glue this guy down, but I keep feeling he keeps falling out. So I promised that I wouldn't glue him. We'll just keep him inside there. F58. But I could certainly buy one of those if they still exist, and we could do a live stream of building a ship in a bottle. That was a good idea. I like that. All right, so F58 is right here. Okay. Again, the orientation of this critter is just how you see it, the point facing to the right. Okay. And they want this little critter in front of this little Dobie here. So right in that slot. So you don't want to go? Okay. Come on. Come on. I got faith in you. Come on. We can even move the little Dobie out because the Dobie's not cooperating. Why am I still calling it a Dobie? I don't know. All right, we'll put the Dobie back in his spot, and he still wants to fall out. There's an open slot right here, so I'm not sure what goes in there yet. Well, I am now sure what goes in there. An E. So let's look for the E plate. It's G, that's H, so it's not going to be there. E is going to be right over here. Okay. So we're looking for an E3. An E3. Here's an E3. This thing right here. I am not sure what type of plant that is, but if you all know, you can let me know what it is. Okay. So E3. But it's very cool that, it's just a flat board. But the way it's painted on here gives it that three-dimensional look. Of course, at certain angles, it's where you're going to get it so that it looks three-dimensional. All right, so in that last slot over there, our E3 will go. Or not. Oh, there goes our Dobie again. All right, not really, I couldn't hear that squish, but it's in there. See, this guy's being a problem. He's being a problem child. All right, so what we did was, got some flashing that fell off there. We did part 3 or step 3 here. We did that critter right there. Then we added E3, F58, F55, F45, and F42 down to that plate back there. We got this, which is this. Okay. So let's see. All right, so part 4 here, the parts numbered in red are spare parts, the same below. Okay, it looks like we're going to build some type of tree here. So we're looking for E, E6 and E9. E6 and E9. Here's E6. This little critter right here. And E9, which is this little bonsai critter right here. And then we need an F39, which is right here. These are the extras. The ones in red are extras. So we need an F39. These are like these little nails or little pegs that hold pieces together in here. Okay. So this is going to be real tiny here. So this slot right here is going to hold this F39. Let me take some of the flashing off. So we're going to connect it. Tiny little piece. My finger's not cooperating. Okay. Gotta hold it real tight. Come on. Come on. Okay. So that little critter is connected. You heard, I don't know if you heard the little sounds because of the gardener outside, but all right, and then we're going to connect this critter. You can see the opening right here onto said peg. There's some squishy sounds. And now we made a cool little bonsai. Bonsai! What? Bonsai! Bonsai! Okay. There's the back end. There's nothing on there. That's the silk screen side. Okay. So basically what we just did here was we took E6. We connected F39 into that slot. And connected E9 onto the F39. And we got bonsai! Bonsai! There we go. Bam. Exact same size. Look at that. All right, we're moving on down to the east side. All right. And we're going to make another tree, it looks like. All right, so I'm not sure why they're starting from the accoutrement out, but, you know, I guess it is what it is. So part 5 here, or step 5, we're going to need a whole bunch of C's and E's and... All right, let's look for a C. Well, this is an A. This is a B. This is a C. All right, so we need a C4. Here's a C4. See right here. That little critter right there. Stuck to the back. C4, okay, let's put that down next to it. And everything else looks like an E. That's an F. All right, so we need an E4, which is one of these weird looking things. Ooh, the red one is a replacement in case you lose this one. We'll put this one here. We need an E5, which is this little tree right here. Oh, the other thing just fell out as well. Okay, we'll put that. Oh, it's just a piece of flashing. We'll stick that in the box. All right, there's that. We'll put that one there. We need an E7, which is right next to it. E7. Remember, these parts are really delicate, so even be careful taking them out of the plate. They can snap. Then you'll be gluing them together. That's the placement. All right, we'll put that there. And then we need E7. Oh. Then we'll need the piece that we built in the previous thing. And then E8. Here's an E8, which is the same as that other one that we had, but with an actual color on to it. Okay. So we are basically stacking stuff. That's what we're doing. We're going to be stacking. So we're going to take the C4. Make sure that this is the orientation that you need. You see that this has a curve to it here. According to the instructions, you want it the curve. So we're going to place this peg. Sam? Come here, Sam. Okay. Trying to push them all the way across. Perfect. Okay. And we're going to take this big giant monster and run them straight through. Monkey. Come here, monkey. Come up here. You want to say hi to Mike? You want to let everyone know to like, share, comment, and subscribe? Kitty butt. Yeah, like I said, in my description, there is a link to purchase on Etsy or Amazon. I got it off of Amazon. Or you can go to the actual, there's actually a link in the description, a hyperlink that'll take you right to where I purchased it on Amazon. So, all right, so, yeah, you would think that there would be another side to this, a colored side, but there wasn't one on there, so obviously we're going to be looking at it from a different angle, I guess. I'm very confused. I'll try to figure it out as we go. Okay, so that's E5, so E7 is this one. You're right, I did go the wrong way. Son of a mother, father. We're going to use the power of the teeth compel you. Okay, let's try it again. Rotate it the correct way. Thank you for noticing, Meng. I was too busy staring at Sammy's butt. Okay, so now we put this one facing this way as well. Right? I mean, he has to. Sammy has to get his 15 seconds of fame. It's just a must. He's outside right now. He's enjoying this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Right, Sam? You're enjoying the outside? Miguel? Okay, now we'll connect the other one that we did here onto this same little post. And we'll get new hands and fingers. Okay. Look, trying to make something three-dimensional. Look at that. Wow. Okay, and we have enough room for our little gizmo here. That's an extra. Our little gizmo has to be facing, again, the curve. Oh, son of a mother, father. Again, it's a new day with new fingers. All right. There's two slots. You want the bottom slot. I don't know why there's two slots, but of according to this, they want the bottom slot. So that is quite a lot of parts for one freaking tree here. All right, so I'll explain what we did. We, being Ricky from Real Talk Chimp, we took a C4, we connected an E4 to it, we connected an E5 incorrectly, then we re-rotated it. Thank you to I'm not sure, it doesn't say your name. I guess it automatically translates, so that's kind of cool, but the one writing nope the other side, Amna, A-M-N-A? No, Sammy's a Norwegian forest cat, very similar to a Maine Coon, but does not have the ears, big fluffy top pointed ears, and that crazy muzzle. Norwegian forest cat, so his fur is different than normal cat fur. It's because I guess he's a snow cat. Yeah, it's a trip. So we connected the C4 to the E4 to the E5 to the E7, then the number 4 from the previous page, and the E8, and we created that or sank a battleship. One of the two, or got bingo with all those numbers. And we created that right there, which is this little guy right here. Not the real size, apparently. But you can see it is quite involved to make this thing 3D. Very pretty. I used to know what type of trees these were. They're like they look like those, not parasol, but those fans that the Japanese women collapse and then fan out. If you look at the plants that grow on here, it has something to do with fan. I don't remember what it's called. Yeah. Sammy is currently drinking off his fountain. We need Sammy to come over here and hang out. But he's not really into that. He's not a hangout kitty. He's not a lap kitty, unfortunately. One thing about Norwegian forest cats, they're considered working cats. They're not considered lap kitties or love kitties. He does snuggle with me now that he's older. He does a little snuggle, but the first 10 years, nah, he wouldn't go near me. All right, so step 6 here says take number 5, which is number 5, this thing, and connect a C5 to it. So let's find a C5. C5 is right here. So I don't think we'll be able to finish this all in one. I was hoping that I could finish this all in, the whole day, but my phone will eventually die, so. All right, oh, that's why we needed that other slot right there, because we're gonna connect this little critter to it. So let's figure out which way it goes, just like this. Oh, hard to hold on to this thing. Get my fingers in here. Really difficult. Wow, that really does not want to go in there, but you know what? Let's do a little filing for the first time. Maybe we can get this thing cooperate a little bit better. Not really. Well, that's the best I can do without crushing the flesh underneath me here. Okay, so all we did was we just connected that little piece right there to the top slot and came off with that. So that thing right there. So now there is the peg that will connect to the ground, and this, I guess, will stabilize it to the ground. Okay. All right, what else do we got to do here? We got to do more. We got to take our contraption here and connect it onto an F50. Let's grab an F50 here. Here we go. Like little golf courses. But they're obviously little end gardens. Okay, so... And then we need an F60. An F60. Here's an F60. That's pretty colors that they put in here. They got different types of greens and blues. It really reminds me of the paintings that I do. But I just don't do solid green, solid blue. I put different shades in there. All right, so the orientation of this plate is like here. So we're going to take this critter here, put him in here. Now he's a double part again. One part will sit inside while the other part will slip through to be part that will connect to the ground. Seems to be okay in there. Okay. And then this slot will be our giant thing that we created over yonder. So silk screen facing us. All right, well, for some reason, having that piece on there is not allowing me to put this down. Well, let's try this one down first. Okay, there's the peg underneath. But for some reason, I almost want to glue that down because it just feels strange. Let's see if this will fit in here. Okay, good. No, it's a little wonky because of that new piece that we added. We can't get it all the way in. You'll notice that there's a gap. It's a gap in between. Right in there, so here's my tweezers. This gap in between here is just enough to push against this little rock formation and not allow it to really sit in there. You can see it more right here. It's pushing up against this piece. This part should be smashed against that, but without breaking it, of course. Okay, so this is what we did. We took the number 6 from the previous. I mean, the alternative was just an extra piece in case you lost or broke or snapped something. The only way I could get that to really work is use my teeth. So let's try it. Yeah. That's better. As long as you're not going to destroy your teeth. There we go. So now we've got it as close to this whole thing as possible with no gaps. So it should be good. So let's try it again. Now it shouldn't have a problem. Shouldn't, unless that was the way it was meant to be. Still looks awfully close, even with it fully like that. No, it's now lower. Okay, so now it's lower. Like it's almost down in the foundation instead of bumping into that. So there, I think we fixed it. Yeah, okay. So what we did is we took step 6, which was here, and we connected F60 and combined both of them into F50 to make that, which is that. Very pretty. Give it very much a 3-dimensional look. Here you can see that it's just a bunch of cardboard. But just rotate it just right and it'll look like a 3-dimensional object. That's pretty cool. Very lovely. You stay there, sir. We'll get a sip of our agua. Sammy just went charging after something over there. It's a lot of lizards out. I told him he's not allowed to have a lizard unless he's going to keep it as a pet and not eat it. All right, from page 9, we're moving over to page 10. We're taking that previous thing that we built, we're putting it on another layer. So we're going to need an F43, which is right here, some type of bush. And we're going to need an F44. Which is right here. Okay, so we're going to connect the bush here, because you see it has the 2 pegs, onto the, come on, onto the, right here, these 2 slots. So we'll connect this here. There's a nice squish. Make sure it's as flush as possible. There are the pegs that we're going to use to connect to the ground. Okay, then we're also going to connect the previous one. We have 2 pegs. See if I can get it to focus. Not going to focus. There it is. We'll take those 2 pegs. We're going to rotate it according to this. No? Yes? Like this? Like so? Like this? Wait. Oh, wait. We put this on the wrong side. We meaning Rick at Real Talk Chimp. I put this on the wrong side. That makes sense. Okay, so now we're going to connect. Those are the slots. Those are the pegs. Not much of a squish or anything, but it just kind of placed itself, okay? And then we're going to add an F51. An F51, which is this little rock formation here. And we're going to put that in, we're going to take this piece here, put it in that slot right there. I hear 5-0 out there. Okay. The peg hanging down. And then we need an F51. F51. That's weird. Oh no, I'm sorry, we already used the F51 somewhere else. That's what we put in. Did we put the F51? That's the F51. We need a J30. Wow, you're making me go in a totally different direction. We need a J30. What does a J30 look like? It just looks exactly the same. It's another bush. Why would you put this all the way over here? That makes no sense. Okay, here's a little J30. And we'll connect that little J30 into that little slot right there. We'll try, I guess. This may require tweezers as it is in a weird spot. No. I didn't hear a squish or anything, but it obviously went. Okay, so this is what we did here. We took the F43 and then the previous step, connected it to the F44. We added the F51 and the J30, and now we made this whole little Zen area, which is this. Realizing I must have made a mistake. No. I think the angle of it is this way. That's the correct angle of it. Not that way, because then you would see the cardboard wall. You want to look at it from here. So if we're looking at the box, you can see that in the background there. Background right there. You can see the bush perfectly. So that's pretty cool. Then, of course, you can see our little Dobie guy. Still getting kind of loose in there. Right up front. Right up front here, you see your little Dobie. I mean, it's obviously rock formations. It looks like sandstone with granite next to it. Right there. So obviously, this flat side here with the peg is going to be drilled into the board, the wall right there. Cool. Okay, we'll put those there. All right, we'll move to a whole nother step. Looks like we're going to build another Zen garden patch thing. So we need to connect an F40 to an F57 according to what this is right here. This is showing what that is. So an F40 to an F57. You sank my battleship. What? Oh. An F40. All right, so an F40 is one of these critters. Right there. The little nail, like I said, or whatever. An F40 to an F57, which is right here. Wow, that one didn't want to come out. Okay. So now we have to figure out. So you want me to just drop that straight inside there. Okay. So just drop that straight down inside there. Oh, it's in there. Okay. We'll put that aside for a second. All right, we need an F49. Here is an F49. It's like some water plants with the rocks. Got that on there. We need an F52, which is more rocks. A little stacked wall, maybe. Okay, we need an F47, which is right here. Come on. Come on. Okay. Is that it? Oh, and an F48, right? Is that what? F49. No, an F48. Here is an F48. He even put shadowing here to make that rock look three-dimensional. And these rocks look three-dimensional. That's pretty darn cool. They put a drop shadow on it. So I'll take it off the board. So you see it's just a flat thing, but the way they painted it on here, they put the highlight up here, put a slight bit of graying here to give it an angle, and then a black as a drop shadow to give it a three-dimensional look. You can see it really well here. Very cool. All right, so that direction has to go this way. All right, so we get all these little pieces here. All right, so let's figure this out. All right, so F47, going to go into this slot, like so. And F52 is going to go into this slot right here. Or not. Okay. Reluctantly, but we got that in there. Okay, good. Okay, then the little circular one we made needs to be rotated and dropped into here. Like you do. And then this little critter, F49, needs to go into this slot right here. There it goes, a nice little click. Todd Miles, 8834. No, it did work, bro. No, I went and got batteries and it worked. Here, I'll show it to you. I just had the wiring all cattywampus, and yeah, no, it's fine. You took a really long break. So yeah, so I got new batteries. Just got to dig through all the wires to get the touchpad. Yeah, so here you go. It's a little bit of a delay for the length, probably. Todd Miles, I'm not sure if you're the one smoking crack or not, but sounds like you're doing a little negativity trolling in here, bud. And we're chilling and vibing in here. That's what we're doing. So if you want to be negative and troll, go somewhere else, bro. Trying to put all this freaking wires back in this bag. It's kind of stupid. So many freaking wires. All right, then I won't treat you like a douchebag. How's that? We even, Steven? We good, Todd Miles? Uh-oh, I just saw this thing fell off. Let me put this back on here. There is a 15-second delay, of course, so yeah. All right. So again, I didn't glue that part in there. I'm just leaving it, but it obviously fell out. But, oh yeah, that's what I was going to do. Okay. So we did that. We did that part right there. I appreciate it, Todd. Thank you. We did that part right there, which the inner box showed an F40 to an F57. And then we connected it to the plate with F49, F52, and F47 to create that little thing there, which is this little thing here. Extra slots means we're going to be doing more stuff to it, which we are going to be doing it in this one here. I appreciate it, Todd. Thank you very much. Oh, in a moment, I'm going to stretch my phalanges. Oh my God, the breeze is lovely. Sammy, make sure the breeze continues to come this way. Oh, that feels so good. All right, let's see here. So, okay, we got that. So we're going to move on here to the step 10 here. Okay, which is going to require step 9, which is this one here. All right, and then we need G, G, I believe I put over here. Yep, G is over yonder. Okay, so we need G1 and G2, which are right here, these bamboo. Painted super cool. That's some serious dimension there. That's great. Okay, G1 and G2. Is that it? That's it. Okay. So we're going to take... this part keeps falling off. That's what you get for not gluing the part down. Come on, buddy. Stay in your spot. All right, so G1 and G2. Here's G1. The orientation, according to this, is rotated from that to that. So we're going to turn it this way. But for ease for me, we're going to connect G2 into those two slots. So I'm going to rotate it to make it easy for me. Just went right straight down in there, no problem. G1 also has the same type of peg configuration, a larger one and a smaller one. We'll go into those two slots right there. Obviously, see that's the backside there. So okay. A little wonky in there. I think I want to maybe glue that. It doesn't suggest to glue it. But, okay, I'm going to put this, try to show you what I just did there. So I showed you what we did over there with the part 9. We took the part 9 and we dropped the G2 and the G1 into it. Really? It's not the 90s. The 90s called, they want you to take your loud, obnoxious alarm horn and remove it. It's done. And then we got this thing here. So we took this contraption here, we put those in there. And as we rotate them, we get that. Trying to hold on to it so it doesn't drop with my shaky Parkinson's hands. So this in the box here that you see would be that whole thing in the background there. Like so. Okay. All right, I'm going to move this aside. Hopefully things don't fall off like they're doing. Stay. Good dog. All right, now it looks like we're making a koi pond, which is going to be really fun. This is going to require glue. So we're going to need to get some parts here. There could be pandas in there. I mean, granted, I don't believe there are pandas in Japan. I believe pandas come from China, but the kit was made in China. So unless somebody snuck a panda in over there, yeah, I guess it's possible. Yeah, I really am not sure. I don't believe there's pandas in Japan. I think they're only in China. Yeah. But let's go to step 11 here. And we need a whole bunch of Fs. A whole lot of Fs. A whole lot of Rosie. A whole lot of Rosie. It's an AC/DC song. Sammy apparently doesn't know it. I've never sung it. Not very good at AC/DC. That requires a certain throat tolerance to be able to sing Bon Scott or the last guy. All right, F62, which is right here. Looks like an eyeball, but it's not. It's one of those Zen things that controls water flow. You'll see in a moment. All right, so F62, we'll put that there. And F63 right here. Basically, we're popping all these things out right here. It wants 61, 62, 63, 64, and 65. Yeah, so this is basically everything right here we're popping out, okay. Okay. That was the 62. This is the 63. 64. 65. Okay. All right, so we're going to set the orientation here to here. Let's make sure we put these all in the right place. This is 64. This is 65. This is 61. And the last one here is 63. So 63 again has another one of those thick into the smaller peg will go into the first slot here. Okay. Huh. Oh, it went down. Okay. All right, and this critter. Wait a second. This is the next. This is 61. 61 will go into that slot right there. The reason I miss every once in a while is because the phone is right in front of my eyes. And I have to sort of look at the screen and try to figure out my orientation here. 64, which is this one, needs to go into that slot. There's this. Oh, I broke it in there. That sucks. It sucks to be me. Let's try that again. I just broke off some of the coloring. Wow. Go in your home, bro. Okay. That was a little painful. All right, the last one, 65, goes into that slot right there. Get it to focus. There we go. That slot right there. All right. I definitely need a new set of hands. Oh, son of a mother father. On the unedited live stream, I would have been saying real foul words right there. Okay, come on. Wow, these parts don't want to go in. There is a chemical smell to this kit, and to most of these kits that come in from China, there's just a tremendous chemical smell. That's true. You never know. Maybe the people that live in this apartment, they went to China and got a baby panda and knew that they were going to be doing bamboo and figured, you know what? Let's bring the baby panda back here and let them cruise around. All right, so there we did, that little critter there. So we connected F63, F61, and F64 and 65 to F62, the top of the pond, and we created that, which is that. Now we're going to go down to the next one. This is going to require glue. We need a G24. A G24. Here's a G24 with the extra one in case you break it, which I am known to do. Oh my Lord. Okay. This is going to require some glue, so I'm going to pop in here and grab some G7000. Again, G7000 or B7000 is a super glue. It's very toxic. You want to be in an open environment or wearing a mask. It is super glue, so if you get it stuck to your fingers, make sure you have some salt standing by. Okay, we're just going to take this little thing. It looks like a spoon, but water drips into it and it balances, and it's super cool. We're going to take the bottom of it here. Drop a little B7000 here. B7000, we'll drop a little bit there. It's also a cool thing that if you want to make spider webs, this thing will make spider webs. It's crazy. Okay. Drop this on. Drop this on and align it. Like there. Okay, that's aligned. We don't need to glue anymore. Grab our little paper towel. Take some of the glue off the nozzle. And put the glue nozzle back on. It's like threading a needle. It's so small. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Alrighty. Let's take that. That requires an F37 and an F35. An F37. And an F35. Okay, the F37 goes into the first slot. The F35 goes into the second slot. This one is the dual peg one. So the smaller peg is going to be used for the ground. So there you have that one there and that one there. That'll connect to the ground. Okay, so what we did was I showed you we did that. Connected that little spoon on there with the two bushes. Created that. Which is that. Oh! Then I go and throw it away. All right, we're ready to move on. Before we move on to F13, it would be nice if you hit that like button, you share at Real Talk Chimp with your friends and family, you make a comment on the screen like all these wonderful people here, and in case I'm not communicating with you, you can talk to Michael070 Knight, who's moderating tonight, and I'm going to go use the restroom. Hopefully Sammy will come up and talk to you. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, phone's coming off. I will be right back after these messages. Sammy, go over there and talk to them. Go talk to them. Tell them to like, share, comment, and subscribe, Sammy. You get on the ball there, PR boss. Alrighty then. Hey Sam, come over here and hang out, bud. Come on, Sam. Come on, Mr. Slowpoke. That breeze feels awesome, Sammy. Alright, we are back. It's the Sam Witter Show. Sam, come up here. Come up here. Oh, fine. Alright, looks like we're making some lanterns here. Okay, so a lot of F's again. So we need an F of 5. F5, okay. We need an F, 2 F5s and 2 F4s. Oh, there are little itty bitty things over here. 2 F5s believe they're these pieces here. 2 F4s, these two right here. Okay. These are little itty bitties. Oh, we just lost the middle part. Oh, that's actually done. This plate is completely finished right here. So we can put that back in the box. Or not. Oh my lord. Come on, phone. Did I get the right parts here? Okay. We're going to connect these pieces here. Let's try to figure them out. Weird orientation here. So one of these, okay, goes this way, I think. Like so. It doesn't seem like it's the right direction. Let's try to turn it around. There's a piece of flash stuck inside here. We have to do a minor surgery. Thunder! Flash! Let's see if you remember that. Where did you hear that? I've given you enough time. That was from Saving Private Ryan, when the 101st Airborne was meeting up with the other 101st Airborne that was across the way. They were in the rain. They come up to a gate, and Paul Giamatti, who's squad leader of his group there, with Tom Hanks and the 2nd Airborne, or the 2nd Ranger Battalion, they come across and they don't want to get shot by their group that's already inside this village. So they're like, Paul Giamatti yells out, "Thunder!" And somewhere out inside there you hear "Flash," which was an actual command call during World War II. So, yeah. They had other, command calls that they did. Of course, I wasn't alive. My parents were babies, so I couldn't possibly tell you what they were. Irrelevant to us building this thing. Although, well, yeah, irrelevant, because this stuff is based on the Edo period, which was the late 1700s into the 1800s. World War II obviously was in the 1940s, so irrelevant. It just happened to pop into my brain I don't know why. All right, so you want it to have this orientation of having 2 pegs in either corner. So this is the beginning stage of this lamp. So what I did was I combined 2 F5s, made sure they faced the way they're facing here, opposites. 2 F4s, made sure that the gray was on top, and made that thing right there, which is, again, this thing right here. So we'll move on into number 14 here. And we're going to look for F6, F7, F6, and F7. Okay, here's an F6. And an F7 right below it. Okay. So we'll put F7 on one side. And F6 on this side, flipped around. And an F8, no, an F9. Here's an F8 first. And an F9. Okay, so the F9 goes here. The F8 goes here. So I have them all set up on the board there. Okay, so we're going to take an F9 and an F7. Squish that together there. The F8 connected onto here. Nice squishy sound. And then the F6. It doesn't really tell me what direction you want this. It doesn't even show me. Oh, it's at the bottom, I guess, according to the other picture. All right, so I'm going to connect these guys here. Oh! And now we're going to start over again. Yay! All right, let's start all over again. These guys don't want to, do not want to cooperate. Oh my God, finally. You heard the squishy sounds. Okay, so F7 into F9 into F6 into F8. You wanted to make sure that these pegs, the way they look, are on the top. That these pegs are on the bottom. And that there's a staggered peg. See how it's staggered. Longer here than it is here. And also that the grass, the coloring of that kind of grass, is facing the bottom. Okay, so that was this right here. F9 into F7 into F6 into F8 with the orientation of those pegs, the length, and it made that right there, which is trying to turn it, my finger's not working. That right there is what you see. Okay, now we're going to come down to this one. So we'll put those little critters aside. Now we need a C11. C11. So C11, there's a red one, so that indicates that it's a spare part. So C11. Now we need F10, F11. F10, F11. So we're making a multi-tiered pagoda style lantern, very common in Japan. So first off, we're going to stack with the grass facing towards me. This plate here. And we're going to put the C11 straight through. Like so. Okay, and then they want us to take this part here and connect it onto an F12, which is right here. And start to get the orientation correct. Let's see which way is which. We want to connect the first lantern that we made in step 13. We want to connect that onto here somehow. Let's try to figure it out. That's a nice squishy sound. Okay. So basically what I did was I connected the C11 through the F10 and the F11. You see where the grass is facing towards us. And I took that part, it's at the top, connected it to the F12, connected it to the S13 or the stage 13, which was right there, making that piece right there, which is this right here, the top of the pagoda lantern. Okay, we're going to move on to that stage there. We did an F13 and F14. It's right here. Notice the green grass area or whatever that is, the moss. Okay, so this one goes on top. So the F13. Like so. So this one here, it's connected there. So it gets nice and squished onto here. Okay, that was this right here. Okay, we're going to drop down here, this part 17 or stage 17. And we're going to connect the thing that we made up over here to an F15 strike eagle. An F15, which is a non-painted plate. So it's basically like a washer or a filler. Okay. So we're going to take just kind of set it here. And watch it fall off. And now we're going to take this end, connect it through here. And then connect it through the butt of this one here. Nice squish. We were really making this pagoda three-dimensional here. Okay. So what you see is this stage right here. And now we're going to connect an F16 and F17 to the base of this. And F16 and F17 here. Okay. I guess I can't match the moss down there, all right. And this one here. I can see the orientation lines match up. Sort of. Okay. So what I did was part stage 16, which was sheer, and connected it on to 14, which was sheer, with the F15. Then I connected the F16 and 17 to it and got that, which is this. But now we're going to put these stickers on. I don't know why, but we're going to put these stickers on, I guess. So we need to get over to the accessory pack, which I showed you in the unboxing. Grab these stickers. Let's see. So you want P5, which is right there. I guess it makes it more realistic looking. Okay. So this guy here. Connect onto here. Try to align it up the best that you can. Okay. A little too low. Let's bring it up a little higher. Just roll it along. Like you're rolling a fatty boom batty. Yeah, this is a lantern, one of these outdoor pagoda lanterns. Okay, so now we need a P3, which is this guy right here, which is going to make this look more realistic. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to roll it out. See, makes sense. This does not look realistic with all the wooden parts like that, so this will do it. This one seems to be a little trickier to get it in here. Oh. If it does not stay, you can always hit it with a little bit of glue. Just using the tool to try to get it to stick inside here. That definitely makes it look a little more realistic, like stone, with a little glow of light in there. Okay, so I'll show you what I did. I started over here. Well, you know, I try not to swear. Well, I did say I had a potty mouth, though. All right, we're going to go on to 18. Looks like we need C8 and C7. First, we need a sip of agua. I need to put more agua in my little ice container here, so give me a second. My agua. Agua. You didn't hear that. Okay, where was I? Oh. C8 and C7 over here. So we need C8 and C7. All right, so here's two C7s. I have to make it twice. Weird. Okay, so two C7s. Two C8s, which are here. Okay, so we're gonna make little Christmas trees here. Like you do. I'm blind. Got camouflaged. Okay. All right, let's put those aside. Now we need two F3s and an F2. Here an F3, here an F2, there an F3, there an F2. Two F3s and an F2. Here are F3s. They look like washers. So we need two F3s and an F2. Oh, here. 2 F3s and an F2. So we need to take one of the Christmas trees, put 2 F3s on it. Yeah, they act like little washers. The F2, they go right into the center. Okay. We got to make 2 of those. All right, so we need more F3 here. We need the, we got the other F2. Got one of these here. Hang on a second. There it is. It's getting camouflaged. We need one more F3. Oh, I guess we're going to take all the F3s. Only need one. Okay. Take our little Christmas tree. Run an F3. Little washer. They're not aligning up. Weird. Okay. All right, we made 2 of those. Let's get rid of these guys. So what I did was combined these little guys here, a C7 into a C8, connected 2 F3s and an F2. There, I did that 2 times. Okay, and now we're going to add, on step 19, we're going to add some bases onto those. So I need C12 and C13. This is very tedious work and usually puts everyone to sleep. C12 twice and C13 twice. Okay. Here's C12. Here's C13. It's like making all those barrels like I did in that last Western saloon. It's real tedious. Most people will fall asleep or tune out. Hopefully they come back. Oh, don't fall. Okay. Let's try to figure this out now. We got one of those and one of those. It's also because of my sultry, sexy voice that keeps you all sleeping as I do subliminal motivational speaking. So, right now, you should be sitting in a comfortable chair, not watching porn, but watching Real Talk Chimp, which is kind of like porn, but not porn. It's, forget about saying porn. You're watching Real Talk Chimp, and now you're hungry for Twinkies. It could have been because of the pot you smoked, or maybe you're just craving Twinkies. Forget about all that shit. Come back and tune in to Real Talk Chimp. Okay, where was I? I don't know. I am connecting C13 onto C12 is what I'm doing. Okay, so that leg has to face that way, which means that critter has to go that way, so that that can do that thing and this and that and... Damn it. This is very, very tedious and does not want to cooperate. Okay, so this connects into here. Okay, so hopefully when I press this down, why did you rotate that direction? No, don't fart apart, fart up in a further. No falling apart in baseball. You know this. Okay, there we go. Okay, it's very awkward. Very awkward looking thing. So what are you all doing tonight on this beautiful Saturday? You watching World Cup? You watching sports? You going out? You sitting at home like me, doing nothing other than building this kit? Oh my God. Arkenflatch. Farkenflatch. The two words of the day are Farkenflatch. Remove the A and add a U, and you'll get what Farkenflatch is. A very angry chimpanzee is what you're going to get. Why don't you want to go into your home? Are you too good for your home? I guess I made him. Ow! Look at my fingers from pressing so hard. Son of a mother father. All right, so we took you through this step here. And took you through this step here, which I just did. Now it's going to require some stickers. Ow. Freaking hurt. So P6. There are two steps P6 here, so there's an extra P6 in case you tear something or doesn't cooperate. So now we're going to grab onto our little tree that we made here that's fallen apart. Try to connect our stickers in here somehow. And rotate it like it's a fatty blot. It's not working. Of course not. Why would it work? Okay, we're going to go and grab the glue because it is not cooperating. I'm going to grab a twisty, run it in here so it freaking stays glued. Let's get the other sticker. This is how we improvise, overcome, and adapt. They're supposed to be stickers. They're not sticking. Not at all. And everything's falling apart. That's great. That is just awesome. I'm just improvising here, folks. Where did the base go that flew off? Oh, it totally fell apart. That's awesome. Not only that, this part fell off as well. That's great. Bug it. All right. Oh my God, it's all falling apart. If you're not swearing while you're putting this thing together, you're not doing it right. I'm going to put some glue in here because this is just not want to stand. Oh, this guy already came apart. Great. What are the swearing chase you all away? God forbid. Oh. Guess I got to do some filing. These things are breaking already. They're just not going into their slots. This part refuses to go on here, so I added a little bit of glue. It's not cooperating at all. Okay, I'm going to let these things dry. I just put the twisty on these things to try to get the tape to cooperate. It's crazy how bad this thing's falling apart. Every time I touch one, the other thing completely crumbles. Let's just set these aside. If something makes you frustrated like I just got, put it down and work on something else or take a break. Okay. That's what they're supposed to look like when they're finished. Oh boy, now we're going to make some Japanese sandals, and these are teeny tiny and going to require glue. So we're looking at F30, F31, and F28. Oh, these parts are so tiny. Okay, we're going to be making a pair of these, obviously. Unless, of course, you're one-footed. These are super, super tiny. Okay, so the F30, which is this piece, it's going to go into the first slot here underneath. Have it in the tweezers. It's just such a small part. Oh, it fell out. You need some fingernails. Seems like I'm going to have to file this down, this little tiny part. Very awkward part here that just refuses. The thing is you see inside this square, it's not a rectangle, it's like a miter cut. And it's trying to do a non-miter cut into a, ugh. There it goes. And it slipped in there. Okay, then you take the F28, which looks like a little cross, and you put it into the back side here, but underneath. So it looks like that. And do two of them. That one squished in okay. I'll figure out why. Put it in the wrong way. Holy Mother of God. These parts are so damn tiny. I can't hold them in my fingers to place them. You need a little monkey. Oh my God. Okay, now we got to glue on F27. That's F27. Super itty bitty, teeny tiny little parts, little footsies go on there. Okay, so you see the pattern on there. That's how these little F27s are going to go on. You have a little shoe. Now let's do the other one. Little pair of shoes. No! All right. Let's just keep them out of our hands here. How about that? I will show you what we created. This is step 20. We took F31, F30, and F28. We stuck them in there the best we could. If you need a file, you may need a file. Then we glued on the F27 to the top of the sandal to create little sandal times 2. So a pair of these. So you figure these are maybe what? 1/25th scale? Let's see. So 1/25th scale or 1/35th scale? I think it's just 1/35th seems, that looks too big for 1/35th. If I had a 1/35th character, I'd be able to stand them next to it. Probably tomorrow I'm going to go over to Games Workshop, which is a couple of miles from me, and see if they have any figures. Maybe Japanese kimono ladies or some samurai that are in 1/35th or 1/25th. I don't know. I don't know what the exact scale of this kit is. So, all right. Well, that was step 20. Kind of don't want to do anymore, but we're going to do more. So we're going to turn to page of 11 over to page 12, and it looks like we are going to be building the sand area with the stepping stones. Okay. Let me cover up this glue. Sorry if I make you all fall asleep and leave. I apologize for that. Your job is to be getting your aunts, uncles, sisters, brothers, dogs, first cousins, parents, sharing Real Talk Chimp brand to them so they smash that subscribe button. Get us up to 5,000 subscribers before the end of this month here. I know the content's a little different than normal, but it is what it is. I'm in this phase of building these wooden book note kits and painting paint by numbers. At least until GTA 6 comes out. but I haven't fully committed that yet. All right, we need a D2. If you were a D2, where would you be? Well, you wouldn't be there because that's a B. All right, a D2, that's an F. I think I see it over here. I found a D2. Here is a D2. All right, we have D2 and the orientation appears to be this direction. The swirl right there. Okay, let's move those apart. All right, so we're going to put a whole bunch of stepping stones on top of the stepping stones that are shown here to give it a 3 dimension. Plus, we're going to need a bunch of F39 pegs to hold the stones in place. So F39 times 7. F39, which is right here, times 7. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Is that 7? No. Is that 7? 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay. And then we need F18, 19, 20, 21, all the way to 24. So I see F18. $19, $20, $21, $22, $23, $24. Okay, so then it wants me to press these little itty bitty F39s into these slots here. This is going to be fun because these are going to require little itty bitty parts. So, oh, and it just went right through it. That was great. All right, so how do we control them? Okay, then how do I find an F18? If you were an F18, where would you be? You'd be probably parked somewhere on a runway, or should have put these in order. What was I thinking? Well, let's measure them and see. Is that a correct one there? That is not. That is the last one here. So let's do this. Let's grab this one since we have it in our hand. Oh boy. Then we'll grab the last one here and no. Oh. Trying. I really am trying. There we go. So that's one in there right there. Does not feel good though. Feels like it wants to fall out. All right, we're going to try to put all these F-39s just into the spots. God, how difficult is this thing? Yeah, we were up to 23 at one point. Well, now we're down to 3. One of them is me, one of them is you. So we only have one viewer at the moment, fortunately. And you mysterious viewer, can you speak up? Or most likely you're a bot for YouTube. Really thinking I'm not going to use these F-39s and just glue the damn stone on top of the board, because these things are really being a problem. Where did they go? Stuck together. Oh my God, okay, I stuck all the F-39s on here. Now we're going to try to match these stones. Thank goodness they're both painted the same. We'll do a drone flyover here of us connecting all these parts. So this obnoxiously long thing that I just did took so long, very frustrating, and I can see that this would be very frustrating for a child to put together, so get ready, adults, you're going to go through what I just went through. So step 21, we took 7 F-39s, pressed them into the D2 board here, and then while I lost the order of my stones, I just looked at the way they looked to where they were down here and connected. F-18, F-19, F-20, F-21, F-22 Raptor, F-23 and F-24 to create this. Whew. All right, it's enough to make you grow old. Okay, it looks like we're going to add a railing to it and add the stuff that we've made throughout this episode here onto said board. So we need G3 and G4. G3 and G4, which are over here. G3 and G4, these railings here. Try not to break them. Start off with these in place. G4. So cardboard out for some reason. Change the orientation here. So these are going onto these out here. That's a squish you want to hear. It is a lovely squish. So I guess you're not going to be looking at it from there. You're going to be looking at it from there. Okay, the next one. If you feel uncomfortable with that side, you can certainly paint it with your own paints. Okay, that's the railings. So now I'm gonna have to try to get one of these parts. So I put on the twisty to try to keep the glue supporting it. Looks like it does not want to stay down no matter what I do. Let's try this glue. It all falling apart. That is lovely. It doesn't say glue here, but I'm going to glue the parts down. We need a G18 and a G11. There's a G18. G11. Just little stones right here. That's odd. Okay, right here. Okay. Leave that space open. Okay. I'll show you what I did. Because most of it you probably couldn't see what I was doing because of the camera, but when we started off up here on step 22, we took 19, which was that lantern that we worked on, 2 little lanterns. We stuck them in the sand there. We took the 2 little sandals, stuck them in the sand over here. We took the other lantern and stuck it in the sand right there. Took the big lantern, put it over that slot right there. We took the G18 and connected it to the first slot. The G11 and connected it to the second slot. Other slots still open. We put the G4, which was that railing, and the G3, G4, and that's what we created right there, which is this same view. So we are starting this Zen garden here. Number 23, Achtung! For easy to display, some of the assembled parts are hidden. Okay, so now we're going back to the things we made at the very beginning. We're taking the Dobie. I started calling this Dobie because if you look at the eye right there, it's a pareidolia. These are stacked rocks and moss. But Dobie from not the Planet of the Apes, oh my God. The Lord of the Rings, if you look at it, he's got a little eye and a little ear, a mouth and a nose. I'm Dobie. I don't know, I've been calling it Dobie the whole time. I don't have him glued in. As I said, I wasn't going to glue him in, so now let's figure out where they go. So little Dobie goes staggered. Let's see. This is going to require me to lift this thing up. I'm not going to be able to do it that way. Dobie may not cooperate. And there goes the Dobie. I gotta glue the Dobie down. This guy does not want to go into his spot. There we go. I'm the glue down now, okay. Oops, and now this one here, all falling apart as well. Why do you show, is this supposed to be turned around? Did I totally screw this thing up? You gotta go all the way back. Something's not right here. So this one is turned around. I gotta turn this one around. Doesn't make any sense, but that's what it says in there. Where did you come off of? You came off of here. I'll glue you down because you're not cooperating. Hey, Sam. All right, so connected all those stones. We connected all those pieces. Then we connected the stuff that we did at the very beginning. Connected the Dobie stone down into those two slots. And we redid that, reconfigured that, is what I was doing before, just a moment ago. So I put some things in the wrong direction. And then you glue them down into those 3 slots there. And this is what you get right here, which is right here. So if you're kind of curious on what this actually is here, it's the interior to here. We haven't added, we still have more that we need to add. Okay. Oh, we got parts falling off of that one too. Lovely. Okay, let's glue this guy down. See, he's not going to stay. This one's not going to stay. Again, it doesn't say to glue them down. I'm doing them on my own. It's just, it doesn't seem to want to cooperate in its little spot, so. Let those guys glue together. So we're at the top of the hour here. My name is Ricky. I live stream on Real Talk Chimp or at Real Talk Chimp on YouTube, Twitch, all the other social medias. We're live streaming on YouTube right now at Real Talk Chimp. That's RealTalkChimp. We're currently on part 1 of the CuteBee DIY Book Nook Kit, Serene Courtyard. 260 pieces. Time is, it takes 4 to 6 hours for ages 14 and up. This is part 1. I did an unboxing in the beginning. I did a tutorial, commentary, and we started working on the kit. I was kind of hoping I'd finish this, but we're definitely going to need a part 2 on this for sure. We have another hour left, I hope. Let me see how much time I have left on my, oh, I'm going to lose this battery here for a moment. So I'm going to unplug it and try to connect this battery tender to it. So we have some life left before we can do this last hour here. Some battery. Okay, we're charging just barely. Oh, come on, magnet. Come on, magnet. Well, it's going to be a little wonky because the charger. You didn't hear that. All right, let's go on to page 13. Step 24, Achtung! Remove the protective film before installation. Same applies below. Okay, so we're putting number 12. Step 12, which was our little koi pond. But before we add that, we're adding that little accessory piece that we found in the beginning when I was doing the unboxing. This little acrylic koi pond, which is this thing. Now, you're saying that there's a film on here? There is some film on here. Check that out. Okay. So this critter is our koi pond. We put it where? We put it over here. That don't seem right at all. Let's see. This one you want where? You want it there. But that means it would rotate the wrong way. Well, that don't make no sense at all. Oh, it goes underneath. Okay. So we need two F-39s. Two F-39s. There's two of them right there. F-39. These little pegs, and they go underneath. How do they go underneath? Oh boy. We're going to fight with some more of these stupid little pegs. Sorry, it's sitting off screen, trying to connect these little pieces without tearing this thing into pieces and crawling into a fetal position and going and crying in a corner and sulking to Sammy. Because this is just, it's tedious and itty bitty teeny tiny to try to put it in this slot, and it does not want to fit no matter what I do. Oh, don't go that far. Okay, so now I got it on here, so now we flip this thing over. I'm going to try to figure out this way. How do we do this? If we're holding it like so, okay, then that one would be this one here. No! Then this one would be this one here. It does not want to go. Why can't you just go to your home? Why can't you do it? Oh my God. There you go. So underneath it looks like this, but above it looks like this. So you can see that it's set in, which is really cool. The pond is set in, and then you have the edges on the inside here, which are pretty sick. There you go. Like you do. So it actually looks like water. You could even put a layer of clear glue on top of that, Or if you happen to have any resin, clear resin, you could put it on top of that. Okay. So acrylic, yes. Now what you want me to do with this? You want me to take this little pond, like so, and connect it where? Connect it here and here. Like, oh, come on. Cute, very cute. And we need a C15. C15, which is right here, which is that bamboo device that they have the water flowing through. I used to have one of these on my koi ponds. I had 2,000-gallon koi ponds that my buddy helped me build. And we found one of these things on the internet and bought it and set it all up on solar power so the water could continuously generate and go through this. So this one here goes here. Okay, ow. You didn't hear that. All right, what else? Oh. That looks really weird. So I did these wrong, is what you're saying? According to that picture, I put these bushes on wrong. I can't get that one out. Got it. Why didn't you tell me I put them on wrong? Now I got to figure out how they go on. I had them horizontal, but they needed to be vertical, according to this picture here. All right, what else? What am I missing? What have I not done right? Oh, this bad boy here. Where do you want that? You want that over here, into these two slots. Okay. Trying to do this without these things falling apart. And no. Fascinating. All right, so what I did was I connected that thing from all the way back here, this step 12 here. I connected that. What the heck is it? On top of that pond that I made, acrylic pond, put that underneath, and then I put that on top. I added a C15. There's that number 12 on top, where the pond goes underneath. The top part goes on top. I added part 10 on in that slot, the C15, and then of course it shows the pond there, how the pond is situated. Then the last piece was the big giant critter here, which is this one here, the big giant critter. And so that right there is all of this right here. So we'll do a zone fly through for you. From this side, it looks like a movie facade. Fish. Pretty slick. So basically everything that we're looking at, like this, is this right here. See the garden here? Cool. Hope that looks awesome for y'all. I'll set it up here again. As frustrating as it was to put together, it does have a difficulty of 4 stars, which makes it a very difficult kit for ages 14 and up. It will require an adult's help. If you're just joining us right now and you dig this type of discombobulation, this building of miniatures and such, please consider smashing that subscribe button, hitting the like button, so that more people can find us. At Real Talk Chimp is RealTalkChimp. Upload content pretty much almost every day. Generally take Sundays off. But yeah, so we have completed this whole area here. We're not done yet. There are so many more pages to go. So many more pages to go. And we've been working on the exterior. We have to actually start working on the interior. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to leave this all for Monday and do a part 2. We've been doing this for about 3 hours and 20 minutes. So you can hang out with me while I clean some stuff up, clean my spot up. I mean, for crying out loud, people have to eat here, apparently. So I'm gonna put our little accessory things away. Things that I've collected over the time I've been building all these kits. I always keep the extra parts in case I need them for something else. Twisties are a godsend. Get them at the supermarket in your produce aisle, the little twisties. Help to hold pieces together, help to hold wiring together, help to keep stickers glued on. All right, we'll grab the accessory pack here. Put the stickers back in here. Put the twisty for the electrical. We'll get this and this. Grab the old frost rod. We'll even put our accessories in there. Get our tweezers, our glue, secure that down. We have our paper towel that we wipe our hands and glue excess glue off with. Put that into there. We'll put the instructions. We'll keep the instructions where we are for Monday. We'll grab all our plates. Grab our plates all over the place. All spread out so we can grab them. We'll put our plates away. Oh, that breeze is lovely. Okay. Box. Like you do. Right on over here. Okay, all our gear. Yeah. So, I'm going to go through this list here and thank all the people that hung out with us today. We started 3 hours ago. We had Johnny Mims said hello. Grayson Orr. We had MA-0703F. Of course, our our moderator, Michael Contreras Knight 070, that you know him as Michael Knight 070, that played video games with me. Oh, I don't want to break anything over there. Okay. We had scrolling. Keep them monkeys scrolling. Is that the same name as that one over there? Yeah, okay. La 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 la. We had Todd Miles, 8834. That's what I'm looking at here. I know we got this Amna, I think was the name, Amna. So if the moderator's not there, I generally look down, see who's chatting, and I always communicate. One of the things I thoroughly enjoy, because I am a cheeky chimpanzee with a potty mouth and no filter. And you can't have a talking chimpanzee that can't go real talk on you, right? So yeah, I will always communicate back. If you respond, if you're a douchebag, I'm gonna respond in a douchebaggery type of way. If you got chill vibes, because we're just chilling. We're just chilling, building a little Book Nook Zen garden. Yo, what's up with that, yo? Sorry, the 90s called. They want you to know yo back. I can tell I'm tired. So yeah, remember to like the content. If you like the content, if you hate the content, You don't have to hit the like button. The more likes that are on there and the more people that are communicating brings other people to the stream. The algorithm picks that up. So the more you hit like on there, then it helps it out. Share at Real Talk Chimp with your friends and family, and I'll promise you this. While most streamers out there probably do giveaways and it's all BS and lies, I'm never going to do a giveaway per se, but I am going to give away some knowledge. If you share at Real Talk Chimp to somebody that will potentially subscribe to Real Talk Chimp, then I guarantee, the next time Grandma goes to the zoo, I'll make sure that the orangutans don't throw poop at her. Because you know you've got that Grandma TikTok video getting orangutan poop tossed at her, even chimpanzee poop, even monkey poop. I will make a call out to all the charities that I send my, anything you guys send me goes right to charity, especially the Real Talk Chimp store that has shirts and all kinds of crap in there. All that goes to charity, Alzheimer's research, Jane Fonda's chimpanzee, gorilla, there's a gorilla charity, orangutan charity, different monkey charities that I belong to as well. Yes, monkeys and apes will not throw poop at you unless you want them to, and that's up to you. I'm Ricky from Real Talk Champ. Thanks, Mike, for moderating. Until next time, we'll catch you on the flip side. Peace and chicken grease. All right, take care. Remember, this was part 1 of the Serene Courtyard by CuteBee, live streaming on YouTube at Real Talk Champ.